Okay, so what I'm going to do now is conduct a little load test. Got a little random group of things I'm going to charge up here. First of all, I'm going to put my cell phone on here, which is plugged in. And I've got some GoPro batteries here. Now, let's turn on our display and then turn on AC and DC. There we go. We got the phone and the GoPro batteries. I've got an electric blanket right back here. I'm going to plug that in, and that would be that right there. And we're going to start it up. I've also got this air inflator system over here on a last fit, and I'm going to use the car charger for it to simulate it being used in an automobile or in a motorcycle such as I would use it in. We're up to 112 watts of demand. Now, I've also got this little small space heater, and I'm going to plug it into another of the AC outlets, and let's see what it does. So now we're up to 400 and, oh, there we go, we're at 1,000 watts. Right at 1,013. So we're at the capacity of the Bluetti right now. So hovering right around 1,000 watts, which is what the maximum capacity is. And we're going to leave this all plugged in and see if it, see how the Bluetti holds up. Right now it's currently 1:36 p.m. and that's just about as well as we could have came out right there. We're using about right at 1,000 watts, as you can see right here, and also 6 watts of DC. So we'll keep an eye on it and see how it does. Okay, being that it's at capacity of 1,000 watts and the energy capacity inside the AC70 is 768 watt hours, we should expect this to be about 45 minutes to drain it down, but we're going to keep a real close eye on it. Okay, so at the 8-minute point, or 9-minute point, it finally did trip the AC70, which was running along having to supply about 1,020 watts. So we were operating just a few watts over the rated 1,000 watt capacity of the AC70. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn off the electric blanket and wait for this to reset, and then we're going to load it back up again. Okay, I believe it has done a reset. The little icon here is showing the fan being on. So we're going to go ahead and press the AC and the DC and see if we can crank this thing back up and come up a little bit less than 1,000 watts for the requirement. But, the AC70 was able to sustain a demand of slightly more than 1,000 watts, but only for about 8 minutes before it went into shutdown mode to protect itself. So that's actually good, showing that that sensor is actually working. But now what we're going to try to do is load it up with a good, nice, heavy load somewhere in the 800 or 900s. The fan, or the heater fan, has reset itself, so we've engaged it again, and we're at just about 900 total watts of draw from the AC70, and that's where we're going to leave it. We've learned that we cannot pull more than 1,000 watts for more than just a few minutes. So now we're going to leave it at this level of draw and see how long it takes the AC70 to deplete down to under, say, like 10%. I don't want to run it too low. But since it's a 1,000 watt capacity draw and rated at 768 watt hours, we would anticipate that it should be able to last about 45 minutes at full draw of capacity. Well, it's 2:21, and while the small heater has been continually shutting itself off, I guess, you know, because it runs intermittently, right now it is on, and with that and the electric blanket and the 50 or so watts necessary for charging the tire inflator system, we're drawing around 940 watts from the AC70. It seems to be supplying the power when necessary, as long as we keep it under the 1,000 watt max. Now, there is a mode on the AC70 which allows you to step up the power output. I'm not going to use that here today, and the reason I'm not going to do that is because I just would not have a demand for that myself out on the road. I always like to test these products the way that I would be using them, so it would be more in line with the way I think my my viewers would be using it, and it sort of, keeps me a consumer and not a product tester, which I'm not, and I openly admit that. I like to see how they're going to perform under the conditions by which I would probably be using them myself. Okay, so I'm changing up just a little bit here at the 2:24 at 2:24 p.m. to more mimic the kind of things I would be actually charging in my trailer. Say, for instance, as I was going down the road. So what I've done is I've taken the heater off and unplugged it. So right now, I'm simply drawing a bunch of DC power from the AC70. I've got GoPro batteries, I've got an electric screwdriver, I got a tire inflator system, I got my phone, and I'm going to load it up with some other DC products to signify what that would be like going down the road. And in just a moment, I'm going to add my 100 watt Hot Logic cooker to it. Well, so far I've just about charged everything I can put my hands on. My cordless screwdriver is now charged. So, can't do much with it now. But what we're going to do is we're going to add my Hot Logic cooker over there and add in the draw for it. That should add another 100 watts, sure does. Now we're up to 204 watt draw AC, while pulling 40 watts DC for the little tire inflator system, my cell phone, and the GoPro batteries, which are now charged up. And that was the last three I have. So far the AC70 has charged up everything in sight and still has 59% left. So that's how we're doing. Whew. Well, so far the AC70 is making this sort of a hard test to do for me, because I've charged this tire inflator system. It's at full charge. I've charged my bug zapper tent light that goes inside the bunkhouse. I've charged all my GoPro batteries to full. I've charged this screwdriver. I've charged my phone. It's at 100%. I've charged this other little accessorial lantern over here. It's at 100%. I'm currently running this Hot Logic Mini, which draws about 100 watts, but it's intermittent. And I've also got this electric blanket over here going. But technically I've run out of stuff to charge. So we're just going to go from here. The AC70 is still at 55%. Wow, I'd say it's doing pretty good. Let me go see if I can find something else to charge off this thing. Okay, so now I have went out and got my little 100 amp battery out of the trailer. I'm using my 8 amp Duralast battery charger to charge it, and I'm running that charger off of the AC70, which still has 53% left after charging GoPro batteries, phone, and that's every GoPro battery. I got 9 more in here. My bug zapper mini light for the tent, my air inflation system, my accessorial lantern that goes inside the tent, my Hot Logic cooker over here, which is cooking up my lunch right now, and my electric blanket. And it's still at 53%. Here's all I know, folks. I got nothing else left to charge. My advice would simply be, if you're in the market for a really, really good power station in the area of around 1,000 watts with 768 watt hours of capacity, this machine right here is probably what you want to get. And from what I understand, you can get this for less than $500 right now. So if you'll go in my product description and pull my product code out of there, or promo code, you can get a better deal than that. So folks, all I can suggest is that this AC70 is a great machine. Of course, you know that I've been using Bluetti since the very beginning, and I would definitely say thumbs up with this one, and you'll see it featured again in videos in the future, because I'm going to use this AC70 myself. I don't know what to tell you other than look for it featured in future videos, and I'll see you in the next video.